In this video, I'll be answering evaluation question 7. Looking back at your preliminary task, what do you feel you have learnt in the progression from it to the full product? When I look back to when I did my preliminary task, I wasn't really educated enough to understand each camera angle. I had the basic information, but I didn't really know how I could use them effectively to, like omniscient narration. I couldn't use a camera angle to portray that. So from doing my preliminary task, I knew that I had to get inspiration from films and just research more into different camera angles, and especially the ones in my genre, like in chick flicks. I had to look at different lighting and the mise en scène, because I didn't really focus on that in my preliminary task. I learned the importance of a variety of camera angles, and I learned that dialogue can also really affect the effectiveness of a piece. If the dialogue is not very good, or the actors really don't portray the characters very well, then the whole thing cannot be as effective as you want it to be. So I learned that you have to have good dialogue as well as really good camera angles. I also realized when I did my preliminary, I didn't shoot enough scenes. So I did the basic minimum, but I didn't shoot loads, so I didn't have like enough to really experience and experiment. So I made a note of that, and I made sure that I had loads this time, so that I could really try and get the best out of my piece. I also tried to use different dissolves to like time spacing, because I really did not have that in my preliminary, really. I tried, but not enough. With the mise en scène, I didn't really use that in my preliminary. I just kind of worked with what I had, whereas I knew that in my piece I really needed to step that up and use pieces that could really signify a certain persona within a character. So I definitely worked on that. I also felt like by using different camera angles that I've explored with, I needed to tell the story with them rather than the dialogue, as I said earlier. I needed to use the camera to tell the story and not necessarily the characters, because that can sometimes make for a good film rather than just the dialogue.